Gary, we just got off the phone with Kevin Sullivan. What a treat it is to talk to him.
Yeah, talk about a true living legend, a true historian.
Right.
We're doing this poster of the week stuff.
Adfreeshows.com.
And it's not stuff. We're doing the poster of the week. Thank you, Conrad. And as well as the 55 and 5, and as well as our podcast. And to have, in the case of this week, one of the posters was Kevin was on the card.
He was on the card and explained a unique match type.
Right. And, here's a guy that wrestled from 1970 and is still currently in the business, working behind the scenes with, I forget the name of the company, but they're in Texas. And, Ring of Honor alumnus.
Yeah.
His credentials. And he's not only a wrestling historian. I don't know if you know this. He's an incredible baseball historian.
Yeah, that used to be my favorite part of traveling with him. I traveled briefly with him.
As well as world history. He's traveled a lot. He knows all about Roman history and British history, going back to the various periods of time, and very well read and learned guy. And to talk wrestling with him, it's like. And I was earlier. I said to Kevin, "When are you going to write your book?"
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a guy who was at the head of the ship, WCW. Eric Bischoff gets all the credit, but the man formatting the TVs, laying out the matches.
The man who made Goldberg.
Right. And the man who led the NWO to what they did.
Right.
I mean, it's incredible. He had Vince on the ropes and the WWE on the ropes. And, it's just one of the underrated people in wrestling, Kevin Sullivan.
And he has a podcast with John Paz, 2-Man Power Trip. John has a podcast, I don't know how he has the time to do it, but he has 5 a week.
Yeah.
And he has Kevin on. So if you want to hear about, Kevin talks about these various eras. I think a lot of it is concentrated on the Nitro era.
Right.
Excuse me. But it's great to have Kevin as a friend. I'm glad that, he came to Ring of Honor. And I wish he would. Who knows? Maybe he'll be back.
Yeah, we have some interesting characters who we've seen each and every week, including this past week on the watch along with 2 great matches, 2 young guys, Tony Depp and LSG. It was a great match, a little kind of a final battle rematch between the two, and then we had an excellent main event. The Foundation. They said they were a little disappointed with how things went in that big 8-man brawl the week before, so they were going to have a match under their rules and set their tempo. And what's interesting to me is that there's not really a sense of who to cheer for, who is the villain, because I like what the Foundation does, but they're kind of getting under my skin a little bit about their wrestling's the right way. When me as a fan, I like the pure, I like the brawling, I like Roosh, who just throws everybody around.
And this is going back, they used to say, "Ooh, we're going to have a scientific match,"
right?
Which was in the old days would mean it was 2 good guys, and this was a 6-man match, scientific, and it was plenty of great wrestling,
right?
Plenty of this was not boring,
right?
This was plenty of action, and you could join us for these watch parties. Every Monday, 7:00 Eastern Time. It's free on ROH on the ROH website
and on Fight TV.
And you should definitely join Honor Club.
Absolutely,
there's so much good stuff on there.
Yeah, the archives are getting larger and larger. This week, the World 6-Man titles are on the line. Kerry SOS, Shane Taylor finally getting that shot against Mexa Squad.
That should be a brawl.
Yeah, talk about contrast to styles. 2 guys over 300 pounds, and Taylor and Moses. And then you got Khan, who's just shredded, maybe 240, against 3 very quick but very strong Mexican stars.
Well, one of these days I'm gonna suggest to the powers that be to do a lights out.
A lights out.
Have we ever done a lights out?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
Kevin Steen and Cliff Compton.
Okay.
Yeah, in non-sanctioned lights out. I remember Kevin Kelly and Steve Carino left ringside. If you watch the tape, there's no commentary. not sanctioned. Yeah. So we've done at least one.
We need to do another one.
Yeah.
And I hope I got this right. We've announced the anniversary pay-per-view.
We've announced the date. Yeah, Friday, March 26th. That's going to be coming from Baltimore, Maryland. It's going to be an exciting event. All the titles are on the line according to the preview. So whoever walks out of Shane Taylor versus Roosh as the champion will defend that on the pay-per-view. Whoever walks out the six-man champs will walk out and defend that on the pay-per-view. Shane Taylor's in an interesting position because he could be defending two titles in one night like Gresham did back at Final Battle if he can cash in this week for the six-man and next week for the world title on television.
So is it possible that Shane Taylor and Gresham...
Yes, it could be. Yeah, it could be. We could have two double champions. We could have two men defending two titles at the same time. Gresham and Lethal are defending the titles 2 weeks from now against the winner of the Briscoes versus Kenny King and Dragon Lee. A team that's teaming together, finding some chemistry. The Briscoes on the rocks, but they've said they put it back together this week.
Well, depending on the protocols and some other variables, there's a chance I might be in attendance.
Wow.
Joe Koff and got a hold of me through Gary Juster, and there's a few hoops to jump through. But if it works for me and for the company and for the athletic commission, I'd love to be at the anniversary show. Because I was there last year, the one that didn't happen.
Right. We had a rousing game of craps at the beautiful Stratosphere, which was Lady Luck came. We weren't doing so well, and Lady Luck came, and suddenly we shot back up, and you, myself, and the great Todd Sinclair had a nice drive back. We drove you back to the airport in the pouring rain. It was raining in Vegas, which was strange.
Yes. Yeah, flooded.
Yeah.
Flooded. Literally. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was very odd. But I'm looking forward to being back. It was the first pay-per-view that had been canceled for Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor's history. But we're looking to come back on the 26th for 19th anniversary. Should be a heck of a card. And some great TV matches coming up. Like you said, the six-man titles this coming week. The following week, Shane Taylor versus Roosh. And we will see Lethal and Gresham defend the tag titles against whoever wins this week between the Briscoes, Kenny King, and Dragon Lee.
A lot of talent.
A lot of talent. A lot of talent.
And we've been chugging along with the aforementioned 55 and 5, looking at the Parkhurst Canadian wrestling set, which you could see Monday through Friday on YouTube, thanks to the help of Bisan Creative and Graphic Design for making this possible and for you to have the whole set.
Right.
And it's also on adfreeshows.com.
Adfreeshows.com if you want to binge the audio. So if you are driving and you don't want to have the YouTube ad up, you just download it. Conrad's been very generous. The agreement we have, the videos of the poster of the week are free. I believe the 55 and 5 audio is free. All you have to do is sign up for the free tier of adfreeshows.com, and you get a little reminder when new content on the free tier is put up. But if you join the different tiers they have, the VIP tiers, you get us too, no matter what tier you're on. So it's good for us. We're getting some more exposure. Yeah. We're rubbing some elbows with JR, our buddy, with Tony Schiavone, my good friend from the Lehigh Valley, and Eric Bischoff's on there. Everybody's anybody.
Who's from the Lehigh Valley?
Tony Schiavone. You didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, he's from a little town up past the Poconos, or up near the Poconos. Down past the Poconos, closer down in town. Yeah, if it's past the Poconos north, it's not in the Lehigh Valley anymore. But yeah,
never knew that.
Yeah, he's a little bit past Lehighton.